Hello and thanks for joining me today. I'm DMAC. In today's video we're going to do a pick, hopefully a pick and gut of a challenge lock that was sent to me. I was contacted by a chap called Racingblood 2012 and we can see the initials RB on the front of the keyway there. It said that he had watched a lot of my challenge lock making videos and pin making videos. And had a couple of locks they'd been working on to challenge me. So sent me a couple of locks and they certainly have been a challenge. So this one is called Revved Up. We've got a couple of racing flags on it there, and there's the keyway. And this one really did give me the runaround. I didn't record my first attempts at picking it, and it would have been a really long, boring video because I played with this thing on and off for about an hour. I got some really deep full sets. Things were locking up in there. I had to do some float picking. It was a real pain in the arse. So well done, Racingblood, for all of your efforts in this lock. But I think I finally figured out its secrets. I managed to get it open. I was having problems because I think it's pin number 6. I was getting a really deep full set, and then the whole lock was locking up. So pin number 6 was the one that was causing that, because that was completely solid and when I had the deep full set. So what I'm going to do when I pick it in a sec is I'm going to try to overset that pin, and that just kind of takes it out of the game. And then I can pick the rest of the lock kind of as normal. Now, there are also a couple of pins up front that have been giving me deep full sets. Not sure exactly what's going on there, but knowing that Racingblood had taken inspiration from some of my pin making videos, it's called Revved Up, and we've got these starting flags. I wonder if it's got piston pins in it. So let's get it in the vise, get him picked, get him gutted, and we can find out. So I've got him set up in the vise. I'm going to use top of the keyway tension, and I'm going to go in with this monkey paw pick. Now I'm going to start off picking this as I would any normal lock, just feeling for binders. But what I'm really looking out for is that pin number 6. The second I feel any sort of resistance on that pin, I'm just going to lift it nice and high and get that one out of the way. If you've never picked challenge locks, you'll find they're so much more talkative than normal locks because the pins are all kind of funky shapes. You just get some really great feedback. I like to use reasonably heavy tension on there. I don't want to damage the pins, but you just get better feedback and the lock sort of becomes a little bit more talkative. So I'm just feeling down the back there, and I think that's pin number 6. If I give that one a little set, he's definitely binding. There we go. We've got a nice little turn on the tension tool. I think pin number 6 is now out of the game. Now it's out of the way, I can just concentrate on the other pins, feeling for binders. I use quite heavy tension, but as soon as I feel a binder, I'm letting up on that tension so I can set the pin. Challenge locks generally have can have quite delicate pins in. You don't want to damage anyone's hard work. We're getting some good counter rotation on these front pins. You can just see the tension tool. I'm allowing it to turn as I set those pins. I don't think we're too far off getting this one open. And there we go, we got it open. So what I'm going to do is get this out of the vise, and then we can take a look at what's inside. Right, where's my, just realised, there we go, that's the focus sorted. So I think what I might do is speed this part up, and we'll come back and we can have a good look at these pins. So let's get you a nice close-up of these pins. So as suspected, there was some serious weirdness going on in chamber 6. So this was the one that I had to overlift before I tackled the rest of it. That was the one that really snarled me up when I was first picking it. So these are, they're kind of ball chain. The sort of thing that quite often you will find on a sink, on a plug chain in your sink. So you've got two balls there joined together. You can see they move separately, and the same at the key pin. So the key pin is ball chain as well as the driver there. So all the other key pins are standard, and then we've got these lovely rattlesnake pins there. It looks like that's made from a nail, that's what I would say. And we've got 3 sections on there. And this one here, this is one that Jay Gabriel I'm sure will appreciate, because that looks to me like a rattler within a rattler. So I think some of these sections at the bottom, let me just get a closer look. It's hard to do because I'm kind of doing it through the camera. Yeah. So I think these outer sections, I think the whole thing is kind of loose. Yeah, it's all falling apart. I tell you this reminds me of one of Jay Gabriel's catastrophe pins actually. But yeah, it looks like we've got all these moving parts at different levels, which is an absolute nightmare. And if we look in 3 there, we've got, it's like a sort of gin with a kind of T-pin on the end of it. I don't know if that's quite in focus. But there's a little nub there. I think that's what I was catching my shim on when I was trying to gut it. I had trouble getting the shim in. And if we look here, these are absolutely awesome. Really nice to see these. As suspected, we have got piston pins. Now, they were in this orientation, so this part was facing down, this part was facing up. I don't know if that pinned one would be more effective the other way around. I don't know. But let me just get you a close-up on these, because these are really well made. Excuse my fingers there. So you can see it's 2-part pin with that bit captive in the middle, and it moves like that. So that helped to give us some of those deep full sets. Anyway, that was Racingblood's Revved Up. There's the key there. Really nice work. I think anyone that can make a piston pin deserves praise, and anyone can make rattlesnake pins like these again deserves praise. And yeah, putting these in that high lift, it wasn't a high lift, sorry, is it high lift? No, but I think that one at the back calls me the deep full sets when I was first picking it. And once I realised that what I had to do was lift that one and just get it out of the way, the second I could, it meant that I was only dealing with these other 5 pins, and didn't prove too much of a challenge after playing with it for an entire hour. So yeah, really nice work, really impressed with that, and I think you'll go on to make some really stunning challenge locks in the future for the rest of us to enjoy. Anyway, thanks to Racingblood 2012 for sending me that, really appreciate it. But I do now need to get on with his other challenge lock, which is this one here, kitchen sink. Nasty looking key on that one. I'm sure we're going to have more trouble with that one. Anyway, thanks for watching today, and I'll see you on the next one.